Good. I'm glad.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. I think how we envisioned this was we'd love to tell you, I know we spoke a bit at the meeting, but we'd love to tell you more about the business, the vision. I know you had mentioned that it's something that clients could be interested in, but really at this phase of the business, we're just trying to understand more about what people actually need, because it's great to have a product, but if nobody needs that product or that service, it's a little bit useless. So that's what we were envisioning, but also happy to take it any direction that makes sense for you.
Okay, so you're doing, I mean, like any good business, you want to start off with doing some good market research, right? Understanding what your clients really need so that you're not creating something that they don't need. So good for you there. Yeah, certainly. So do share with me what your vision is, what you're looking to put out there in the market, or what you've already done so far. I would love to just hear what Amralytics team is all about. So go for it.
Perfect. So maybe I'll do the broad spiel, and then Arantza, if you want to talk about what we've done with clients so far, we can split it that way. So we came up with Amralytics because we met through our Masters of Business Analytics at UT. And what we found was there were so many huge businesses that have these really big teams of data scientists, data analysts that are constantly working at the cutting edge of like machine learning, AI, integrating all these techniques into all other elements of the business so that business leaders, managers, team leads can really analytically understand what's going on rather than heuristically. And so on the top level, there's this big trend towards being more data-driven, but small businesses, business owners, even up to, $5, $10, $50 million a year, they don't have the expertise in this area. They might not have the budget to set up individual teams. So our idea was, okay, what if we function almost like, the data science team at Amazon, but instead of having other Amazon teams as our clients, we have individual clients. So we go in, we get data, and we try to translate everything as much as possible into words, into visuals, into things that are not just another graph, another Excel sheet, that actually help people understand, okay, now that I have my POS system, my social media, my SEO, all these data streams coming in, can I actually turn them into doing something that makes the business either more profitable, less wasteful, grow faster? So that's what we're trying to do, is bring the skills that we've developed through not only our careers, but also our degrees, and bring it to people, and bring people in a way that makes sense for non-necessarily, super data nerds like we are. So that's the idea. It's like data translators and just helping people really make sense of all these new trends, all these new technologies. And that's the goal.
Okay, that's beautiful. All right. And so how long have you been doing this for?
Go ahead, Arantza.
7 weeks, more or less.
Congratulations. And so tell me how that journey has been so far this past 7 weeks.
Good.
Okay, so I think everything started with like a conversation in a coffee shop, and we sort of like, our very first step was getting matching notebooks and then start planning. And I don't know, I feel like for both of us, one of our main goals is not just being another software company or another tech company, but also like taking the time to meet the client, understand their needs and their pain points, and trying to help them. No, not just like, here are your numbers, here is another graph, like understanding the way you know is, we like the idea of being translators and also give them recommendations. And
So more consultative approach is what I'm hearing you say. And that's really it. People are looking for, a lot of people don't have the knowledge. So you're the expert and really sharing and helping them gain insight. And I just use this analogy with a plumber that came in recently. In fact, he did some work with me today. And I hired him because he came in and he really explained. He was very consultative. Gave me advice, gave me options, and then made it very clear what the problem was, right? So I got to understand it, there's another plumber that had come in earlier that they just said, I'm going to send you a quote. And I'm like, really? So you compare both, right? And you realize like, is the one that actually gives you the consultative approach, empowers you to make the right decision. So what I'm hearing you say is that's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
it's consulting with the business leaders and helping them really understand what their options are, helping them understand the benefit, or understand their pain points, and then helping them see the full picture of how you can help them.
Yeah. And so we're doing more. One of the things that we've always had maybe an issue with is that consultants are great. And if you have a really clear picture of what your problem is, they can come in and solve something quickly.
Right.
But we have a more project into subscription model. So the idea is we're going to work with you and pull all your data streams into one place. So we will build tools for you. So whether it's a visualization, a dashboard that's ongoing, that's live updating. So you don't have to check 50 different places to understand what's going on in the business. We make one single overview. But then at the end of that, we also give you the option to just keep us, both keep that product live, but also have us keep coming back and checking in and saying, okay, has anything changed? What do you want to talk about? And the beautiful thing with technology acceleration is that we can spend less time on the analytics and the building of tools, and we can spend more time talking to people. So our whole idea is how can we facilitate for ourselves and for our clients that, we'll sit with you for 2 hours and talk you through what's going on in the business. You want to be heard, you want to be understood. So how can we blend the two? Whereas oftentimes it's either consultation and it's only speaking, or it's a product. But what we think is if you bring the two together, you bring the tech with the personal skills, that's where some of the magic happens.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so what is your target audience, if I may ask? You did say small business owners, but is there a specific niche or specific industry that you feel would be most ideal?
Go ahead.
Oh, I think right now we're focusing a little bit more on restaurants, but eventually we'd like to maybe retail, maybe other kind of industries. I feel like as long as we have some data that we can gather, we can do a lot with it.
Okay. So your focus first is towards the restaurant business, and that's because they have a lot of data.
That's exactly.
And they don't manage it well a lot of times, right?
So high volume was the idea for us, was you need to have a lot of data coming through. It can't just be sporadic. If someone's doing commercial plumbing where they have one big project every, maybe there's data collection inside that, but if you're doing very infrequent events, there's not as much to analyze as, like you said, a restaurant. It's like, okay, we can make menu changes today and we can see what happens in a week. And we can do that kind of A/B testing a lot faster. So
beautiful, beautiful.
Clientele.
Wow. All right, that sounds great, because I feel like, I had this would have been really good for somebody I knew some time back.
But something we'd love to know from you is, the one thing that we're thinking a lot about now is, okay, so you say restaurants, you say clients, but a lot of people are at different points in their development cycle.
Right.
And so you have to understand what we want to do is become software agnostic enough or system agnostic enough that we can, what kind of POS system you use, it doesn't matter. How scaled you are, we can help you set everything up so it's operating in a way that you can leverage analytics. Because that's oftentimes the problem, is it's like garbage in, garbage out. So if you're not structuring things properly, it's not coming out. But how do you look within your business at, a client who's more mature versus a more earlier stage? Do you target one and then over time kind of build in new client types? How specific are you thinking, like, okay, I'm really looking at this particular niche versus across the whole spectrum?
Right. And that question is for me, is that right?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. I mean, it's something that we're thinking about and would love to get your.
That you're thinking about. Okay, very well. No, great question there. I think it's important to understand that the life cycle, where the business is in the life cycle, whether they're early stage startup or they've been in business and they've reached that inflection point where they want to grow, or they're looking at exiting the market, exiting that business, whether they're selling or retiring, whatever the case may be, right? A lot of times what I say is you look at who you've worked with. So the way I approach that a lot of times is the way I've approached it in the number of years I've been in practice is I look at my experience and I look at the clients that are most that say yes to me. right? And so as I work with these clients, I realize, okay, I'm getting some clients who are maybe they're at that point where they've been in business for a few years, maybe 2-3 years. Some of them are maybe also have been in, or they're also at the startup phase too. And they're ready. They've tried to do it their way, and they're realizing, gosh, it's too much. It's so, I just can't do this. I need somebody to give me guidance here. And so that's when they reach out. And so what I do is help them strategize and create a roadmap on where they need to go with the business. So kind of help them declutter all the noise and have a strategic roadmap that they can follow. Helps them just stay focused on what needs to happen, month to month, quarter to quarter, or annually. And so that's how I approach that. So I know that at the beginning, when you start, it's almost like you're open to a lot more because you're still figuring this out.
Yep.
No, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. It's like, because as you get more clients, you will start filling out what you actually enjoy working on the most, and what probably doesn't bring joy to your business, or what's a waste of time for you, right?
Yeah.
So you begin to weed all of those out, and then you begin to, once you figure out, oh, this is my ideal, then you hone in even more, like, why is this my ideal client? What exactly about this kind of business allows me to actually bring in my own superpowers and my own expertise and what I can do for them, right? And so it's the journey of, because you're just starting out, there's a lot of learning that's happening. Yeah.
Exactly. And no, completely. And there's an element of, before you start the business or in the beginning, we try to sketch out, okay, what's the ideal client? So we talk to each other and we say, okay, it's this size, this revenue, this many people, this willingness to learn. I think that's one that people don't always think about as much, as like, you need to have a client that is wanting to show up with you. Otherwise, there's not a lot you can do. But I think maybe we're jumping the gun a bit and saying, let's figure out exactly who it is, when in reality, they will tell you, like you said, like, who says yes to you will tell you who likes working with you, what type of business makes sense.
Right.
Absolutely.
And one thing that's so critical and important is you have to be authentically you. Because that's what you're going to attract, people who will be attracted to the authentic you. Right? And so it's really saying, this is what I can offer right now. So whatever the services that you're offering, you know that you have the expertise in it, you can help that client, but also you bring in your own flavor into it. This is just how I help my clients. So what's unique about you, both of you together combined? You know, I'm sure there's some magic that happened between the two of you that's really unique and different from any other data analytic company, right? And that's what you want to showcase.
Yep.
That's precisely what's going to be, because that's what's going to differentiate you from others.
Exactly. And that's what we say always, 2 months in. What we try to thread we want to pull through is, it's not scary. Just because you didn't grow up loving maths doesn't mean that you can't now be someone who really understands the fundamentals of their business from an analytical perspective. And we are here to help and translate things, not to make you feel insecure about something, or to feel like vulnerable, or like you've been doing something wrong. So that's a big focus of us, is like, exactly, it's, conversations of this tone, where it's like, we're just chatting, we're just helping you, we're helping each other, you're asking questions, we're explaining what we do and don't know. So that's definitely.
So you want to simplify the process for them, right?
Exactly.
Just let them really simplify. That's great. That's great. So so walk the journey with me right now as is, what that would look like if we were to bring on a client.
So Arantza, do you want to talk through the different stages that clients kind of go through?
Yeah, absolutely. So our whole plan is, for example, the first part will always be the same. We will arrive and we will first things first, like we need to understand the business, understand the state of your business, and share that with you. And based on that, we will give you a personalized plan. We don't want to do something generic because we know what applies for one client won't apply for the other one.
Right.
And we're trying to, well, I'm trying to throw this joke that it's analytics a la carte, because you can pick what you think is going to be best. Of course, we can say, like, based on your needs and the things that we've been looking, we recommend you this. But at the end of the day, we want you to have some freedom in that decision. And also, if there are specific things that they like want to try or they've been thinking about, of course, we can help them with that. But yeah, a little bit of the things is of this. The first step, that is understanding their business, gathering all the data, process it, and give them an overview of that. And then if they want to move to pricing analytics or even social media analytics, or if they are, I don't know, trying to throw happy hours promotions, and we can help them figure out the return of investment of that.
Okay.
Even loyalty programs, or the real, for example, now that we're working with restaurants, like what's the actual price of your products, like to make this dish, this is the actual cost, and this is what is profit and what is cost. So
Okay. All right. So you're truly understanding their marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting a good idea as to what their marketing strategy is, because you want to translate that, right? For them.
Exactly.
We don't want to just go do marketing for the sake of it.
And so much is siloed. So oftentimes when businesses, even if, let's say, Meta has a great way that you can see how successful your business is on the social media side.
Right.
But is that translating in any way to making more money? Because that's ultimately why you're running a social media account. So what we do is, by saying we're pulling each data stream and putting them into one data warehouse, it means that you can make correlations between different elements of the business. So you can say, okay, maybe, and there's a lot we can do with like semantic processing and using advanced like LLM tools and using AI to understand, okay, well, there were these Google reviews, which indicates that this person, that your target audience who's Yelping is probably more around 45, but your social media target audience is more like 25, and then you can figure out more intentionally what the next steps are.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. And so, what's the benefit that they will get? I know you're talking about the problem you're trying to solve, but ultimately, how are you gonna, what would they feel after working with you, and how long do they have to work with you to start seeing the results and the benefits?
Mm-hmm. I think there are two, or Arantza, please, if there are things that you want to add in, go for it. But I think there are two. There's the side that's growth, and so obviously there's cost streamlining. But ultimately, in any business, there's only so much that you can compress your costs down. If you want to grow, you have to grow top line revenue. So that's a lot of what we're focused on, is more growth as opposed to cost cutting. So on the one hand, and that's something we can do relatively quickly. So testing certain promotions, encouraging you to use SEO spend a certain way. There's the business side. What we really want to give people is a sense that they understand the business, that they can go to anyone, they can go to investors, they can go to the bank, and they can say, no, this is what I spend on, we'll say restaurants, this is what I spend on ingredients, this is what my payroll spend, this is why I spend in that way, this is why we have these percentages, this is what we're doing to think about how the menu is put together, and they can feel like they actually understand the numbers. And that sounds very simple, because it sounds like, well, you get a P&L and you have everything is going through Square, everything is going through your POS. Surely you understand it. But most people, I think, don't have the confidence. They started a business because they were good at doing something, not necessarily because they have run a business before.
Very true.
And so giving them that sense of confidence, which I'm sure, just like you, it's some of the intangibles that I think make people then feel like they can take the next step. They know that they can open the second location because they feel solid about the first. Not just because they have money in the bank, but because they actually know, like, yes, this is what makes my business work. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. That's a lot of what we want people to have. It's just insights.
Insights and confidence, yes.
I completely agree with Femke, like that, empowering the owners to say, like, I know how my business is doing, and I can talk like with investors, and if I want to expand, I know exactly how to do it, and that just empowering the business owners. I don't know.
And
Right.
we're building right now, actually, what we're working on behind the scenes is what we ultimately want to have is each business has a dashboard, and that sounds terrible because everybody thinks of dashboard like, okay, just it's more graphs, it's more stuff to look at, everybody builds dashboards. But we're thinking dashboard like literally like a car dashboard.
Mm.
Is a check engine light on? Is
That's indicator.
like just remove the middle layer of the visualizations, like the graphs, and just bring it into like, these are the 6 metrics for your business, for your industry that are important, and we put on those.
Mm-hmm.
Into that, we can incorporate pricing predictions. So we can now do a good job at, we can do what's called web scraping. So we get data from not just literal data like financial data, but news articles around the world that we can say, hey, you know what, there are fewer avocados being harvested in Mexico this year. So we expect that in 3 months it's going to get more expensive. So you don't have to see the bill and suddenly go, oh no, but I have to buy avocados because they're more expensive, so I'm spending the money. You can preemptively see, okay, these are this is what's going to get more expensive for you. So that's the kind of proactive approach we're trying to empower people with, as opposed to a very reactive approach, which is like, okay, supply chain shortages, things are not working out, and now I have to constantly be dealing with things on the back foot. That's ultimately the type of products that we're hoping to build.
So instead of being reactive, yeah, they're proactive because of the insights they're getting.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
And those insights are multiplied because we're not just doing them for one business, we're doing them for 100. And so we have the power and the intellectual power of people who are doing industry-wide consulting, as opposed to every time having to reinvent the wheel and having to figure out again what it means for your individual industry.
Very well. Yeah. And so where do you see your business going in the next year or so?
Oh, what do I see? I see us expanding into new industries. I think that's a big, right now, we're talking to a lot of restaurants, but I think the model is very applicable to other industries.
Right.
I
agree.
I don't know. The very first day, can I tell the story about the jewelry store, Arantza?
Yeah, sure.
I'm curious.
The very first day that so a lot of what we've done is literally walking into places, like walking into businesses and saying, this is what we're offering, this is pitch. You get a lot of no's, but you kind of, the sting lessens over time.
Right.
We were walking in, we saw a jewelry store, and we were like, let's just go walk in. And we were like, you know what, when we make $1 million in profit, we could come back and start. So that's, I think that's more the 20-year horizon instead of the 1 year. But yeah, so impact is, and also just, we really like being good community members. So I think in a year, I see us being the person that people get referred to, that they say, oh, you have a new business? Oh, you cannot possibly do it without reaching out to Arantza and Femke, because they can have your back. So
absolutely. That's beautiful. I am super excited for both of you because I truly see the potential here. And I already see that this is a much needed service, because data drives, if you don't have the data driving your decisions, then you're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something will stick, right? And just hoping, I'm going to try this, but you don't even have the insights as to how's this working. And that's something that I drive in my business, and I'm like, yes, I do have to have insights as to how things are running. So if I'm doing a campaign, I want to know how many clicks went through, who clicked through, who opened the email at all, who viewed the email. All of that stuff gives me insights as to who I need to even call. Because I don't want to call somebody who just deleted my mail. Right. But I mean, so just to your point that, yes, I think this is a very, it's a much needed, I see the value. And I know that this probably, as you continue to educate people about this, they will see the value. Small business owners, I know, because they're so buried in the weeds of their business, a lot of times it's hard for them to want to listen or hear you, because they're so tough. I mean, they're just buried in the weeds. But I think that if they listen and hear, and that's why I want to showcase what you do, that definitely you're going to see traction.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of people, we've gotten really good feedback.
Good.
And so it's just getting out there. And also, I think, like we said, demystifying it a bit. So it's like, it's not going to be some service with a customer representative that you can't get on the phone for the next 6 months. It's like, my phone number is on the business card. You can call me.
Right. Yes.
I'm available.
Yeah, which brings me to where can they reach you if they need to reach you?
So email, probably.
Okay, email,
So
website.
yeah, so we have amralytics.com, team@amralytics.com, and I can send this to you in a follow-up email as well. Arantza, I don't know, I think, what
Yeah,
other places do you have?
so we have that inside our website. You will find, for example, a link to our calendar where you can schedule like a first consultation. So you get to know us, the things that we can help you, and just getting an understanding of how we work.
And it's free. So
It's free.
Consultation is free.
A consultation is free, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I want to share that. So I'm definitely going to let people know. I'll look at my client base as well and look to see who might be interested in something like this, because I feel like it certainly it helps. It helps.
Exactly.
And it doesn't hurt to have a consultation.
And it's, I think, when we say data, we say AI, it's all these buzzwords. And I think it's one of those things that you hear it and you like throw it on the huge to-do list you have behind you. You're like, one day I'm gonna do data. And it's like, but data isn't something you do, it's a practice that lives in your business. It's a mindset, it's already happening. Whether you're doing something with it or not, you're collecting it. It's just whether you're learning from it, whether you're improving your business, or whether you're letting it be an untapped resource. So it's.
I love the way you put it out there. Yeah, that's very clear. And so, I mean, the amount of data we generate is insane.
Exactly. And it's only going up, unfortunately.
It's only going up. And so what better way to let that data inform and accelerate your growth? That's really it. So wow, great. So this is just the beginning of the conversation. I'm gonna stay connected.
Yeah, that would be great.
This has been good. And yeah, as I look into, I definitely want to send people your way once I start understanding if they're a good fit for you. So restaurant businesses, I can send them your way.
Retail, we've worked with some retail places as well.
Okay.
So it's really, if you're doing frequent transactions, I would say that's the starting point for us right now.
Is there a geographic area that you're looking at, or does it matter?
We can do remotely as well. Currently, we've been mainly North Austin, Georgetown, Round Rock, that area, but we can do remote. All the data collection should also be, I mean, we have computers, so that all goes remotely.
Okay, right. Okay, so anyway in the Austin area you can do, doesn't matter. And remote, you can also get that as well. So okay, perfect. I know we're right on time here. This is good stuff.
Yeah, and we can follow up with emails and definitely don't want this to be the last conversation.
Okay, let's stay connected.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will absolutely keep in touch.
Okay, sound great.
Bye.
Great talking with you. Bye-bye.
You too.